Here's the truth. In midlife, you can have all the experience, all the skills, and all the qualifications, but if your LinkedIn profile is still outdated, or better yet, if it doesn't exist, opportunities are going to pass you by. I know that stings a little bit to hear, but stay with me because in this video, I'm actually going to show you how to level up in that LinkedIn area. I'm going to show you how to make your presence stand out and to get the opportunities that you deserve without having to spend hours and hours online every day. I can tell you about my own experience when I first started to take LinkedIn seriously. And my profile basically was my job titles from past work experience and then a bunch of bullet points about my job responsibilities. And as a result, you probably wondering, okay, so what happened? Well, nothing happened. No one reached out. No one was trying to deliver opportunities to me. It basically just was no engagement. And as a result, I stayed stuck. So here's what I want you to take away from that. Once I started treating my profile as a personal brand instead of just a bunch of job history bullet points, that's when people began to start reaching out. And that is the whole point. We're not going on LinkedIn trying to keep up with the trends. We're not trying to be influencers. We are not trying to do anything that is not with a purpose. So, what I want you to remember is that when you treat your profile as your personal brand, that's when you're no longer invisible. And when you're not invisible, that means people and opportunities can find you. So, I have a couple of tips for you. And let's start off with tip number one, because in this practical framework, the first thing that I want you to remember is to stop using LinkedIn like a resume. And of course, that is kind of where I was stuck as well, because I didn't really understand the power of it. It was just another platform where people were being kind of stiff online. But a lot of people that are there, they are using their profiles just as a list of job tasks. And I don't want that for you. I want yours to be a little bit more dynamic. So instead of speaking in terms of your job history, I want you to speak in terms of your value. So let's take an example. Instead of, something like on your job history where you say that you were responsible for managed projects or managing projects, that is super boring, super bland, doesn't tell me much about what you did in those roles. So instead, I want you to twist it a little bit. Still going to be telling the truth, but you're going to make it sound more dynamic. So try something like I help organizations bring ideas to life by leading cross functional teams and keeping projects on track. Okay, so think about those two. On one side, you've got that you manage projects. And on this other side, you're telling me that you bring ideas to life, you lead cross functional teams, and you bring projects in on time. That says a whole lot more about what you're capable of and what value that you bring to the table. So think about it that way. In small shifts like this, with the language that you're using, can pay off very big with how people are going to see you. Tip number two is to use your headline as a personal billboard. And it's free real estate, but it's yours. And you got to make sure that you use it to the max. So think of it just, like actual real estate. And if you're saying something like you're in your history, your name is Akila Willery and you were the manager at XYZ company, that doesn't say anything. Instead, I want you to think of blend in a few more dynamic words that actually give some color to who you are. And just like me, let's use me as an example. Hello, my name is Akila Willery, and I actually coach midlife professionals through big career transitions, and I also give them tips on how to downsize their home. Quick, to the point, but it gives you a whole lot more information about what value that I bring and who it is that I'm looking to serve. So for you, I want you to think about your headline as being a value statement. So think about it this way. I help midlife professionals pivot careers with confidence. Or I can say that I am a midlife coach. or I am a speaker, or I could also add that I'm a two-time published author, which all of these things are true, by the way. See how I'm just tooting my own horn and it didn't take a whole lot of effort and a lot of characters? I want you to be able to spend some time making your value statement so that you can come across more dynamic with a couple of lines of text that give more about the value of what you do and who it is that benefits from your services. Tip number three is that first impressions really matter. And I want you to take that very seriously because what people see when they come to your LinkedIn profile is very much the first time that they're ever going to see you and have any idea of who you are. So you want to make a good first impression. So I mean, this is not new. You have always wanted to make a good first impression when you're talking about professional relationships. But in this space, it's like a digital handshake instead of something in person. And remember this, people are going to be looking you up online, whether you like it or not. If you are in some type of situation where there's a professional opportunity, it doesn't matter if it's for a job role or if it's for clients, or maybe you have a business and they just want to see a little bit about you, they are going to look for you online. And that's going to be long before there's an opportunity to meet these people in person. So think about what they're going to see. That's going to be your profile photo. That's basically your headshot. And I'm doing this weird Vogue moment because this is what I want you to concentrate on. Basically, from the chest or shoulders up to the top of your head. That's going to be your profile picture. And the biggest thing that I can tell you is that your profile picture needs to have good lighting, preferably natural sunlight on your face, illuminating your features. But that's not the only piece because you actually have two places on your LinkedIn profile where you're putting a picture. That's going to be first with your headshot, your professional headshot. But then there is a banner, a long rectangular banner that actually is going to be behind your headshot on your profile page. That is a banner photo. And I don't want you to ignore that because so many times when I work with clients and they come to me and say, hey, can you give my LinkedIn a once over? And they don't bother putting a banner photo up. And I tell them that is another place for you to show yourself either in a professional setting or maybe something that is going to show you as relatable in a professional setting. So maybe you're someone like me and you give presentations a lot, or you are in front of a group and you're presenting or doing a training or at an industry event and there's something that is related to your industry that you want to highlight. Those are all different ways that you can highlight your profile with a quality banner photo. So I like to say that your headshot is just basically from the shoulders up, and then your banner photo is going to be you in action. So think about that, and you can be very creative with that space because, after all, it is yours. You get to pick. And remember that your banner should say something about you. So it should say something about your expertise, your brand, maybe just the vibe that you want to come across. And then look at your about section. That's going to be where you actually write out the value that you bring. And it's not just going to be about yourself, maybe it's going to be about the types of clients or the audience that you serve. So don't sleep on any of this because this is everything that somebody is going to want to know about you when they want to work with you. And let me also pause right here because I come across sometimes when I talk to people in person and they will say, hey, girl, I see you all the time on social media. You are everywhere. And I think about it, I'm like, okay, good. That's the impression that I want them to have, because at least for me, I use social media as my own personal marketing channels to be able to bring in an audience and possibly clients that I want to work with. But it's not that I have some great love affair with being on social media. It's actually quite the opposite. I don't like having to deal with social media, but it is a necessary evil for the type of work that I do. So there is this idea that you have to post every day or that you have to chase likes or you're following trends. And I will say that that is what makes LinkedIn different from other social media platforms. If you are like me and you're in your 50s and keeping up with trends ended 15 years ago, then okay, come on over, because LinkedIn is not a place where you're going to have to worry about those trends. I like to say that it is a place not for posting and just being visible, but it is a place for you to make connections with real people. That is the whole point. Not just that you look cute in a photo, or that you have some really pithy quote that's going to get reshared over and over again. Yes, all of those things are positive, but the whole point of being on LinkedIn is to be able to have some type of connection with other human beings that will create opportunities for you. So we're not chasing likes. We're not trying to figure out all the latest dance trends or whatever. I mean, that leave that for TikTok, leave that for Instagram. And quite frankly, if you have TikTok tips, maybe you need to talk to me, because I don't get TikTok at all. Forgive me. I know a lot of y'all are over there having a good time, but I haven't been able to jump on that bandwagon yet. Anyway, so remember that this is not a place where you're trying to be an influencer. This is a place where you're trying to make connections with real people for professional opportunities. And here's the tough love. I know you don't want to hear it, but in this space, in this day and age, you're in a season where you want to level up professionally. And as much as we want to avoid it, unfortunately, being online and showing up in a dynamic way is a part of that process. And whether it's going to be landing a new job role, whether it is starting a business, whether it is speaking opportunities, it really doesn't matter. If you are trying to level up professionally, you can't ignore your online presence. You do need to clean it up, and you have to be very intentional with the moves that you're making. So, with it, whether it's potential clients or even colleagues that you're connecting with, they will look you up online. I'm sorry, babe, they will be stalking you long before you are even aware of it. So let's make sure that what they see on your LinkedIn profile is a good first impression of you. If your profile is blank, if it is outdated, it's not going to come across like, oh, this person is so busy that they don't have time to do these things. No, it's going to come across that you are out of touch. Hey, I got to tell it to you because I'm here to help you. So instead, I want you to give a perception that is not necessarily going to age you, but something that is going to make you approachable and relatable. So here's the good news: LinkedIn is not going to be that space where you're posting daily. As a matter of fact, you can probably post at max 3 times a week, and that content is going to continue to circulate and allow you a chance to see who's reaching out and have some type of direct message with them, to maybe take the conversation offline and actually talk in person in real life. That is the goal that we're looking for. So I want you to think about LinkedIn like this: not as a social media platform, but as a place where you're able to network at scale. What do I mean by that? So instead of going to like an in person networking event, which I do very regularly and they are beneficial, but if you mix it with these online engagements, that digital handshake that I was talking about, imagine you're not just making a digital handshake with one person at a time, but when you post and you engage online, you're possibly being seen by hundreds or even thousands of potential clients, customers, or future employers, all with just one action. And this is you wanting to be in touch with the right people without having to leave your desk. And honey, that means you have visibility without the burnout. I'm not about overworking myself right now. In this day and age, my hustle phase, it has been over for probably a decade. I'm all about strategy. I'm all about doing things that's going to bring the most reward, the most impact, without having to burn me out, and I'm having to do this rat race over and over again. So what I want you to think about is that a strong LinkedIn profile, it is going to be a one-time light lift, but it pays off over and over again. So If you are going to do these things that I've already outlined in this video, then you will have a polished LinkedIn profile, and it will allow you to be seen so that when people reach out, you're not trying to scramble and do all these other things all over again. You are able to engage with them in a real, relatable way and collaborate as they come to you. So no, you don't need to become a content machine. Leave that to the YouTubers, people like me. But you can still show up consistently without it having to be a heavy lift over and over again. All right, so based on everything that I told you in this video, they're very small changes that really can completely shift the way LinkedIn works for you. But maybe you're ready to go a little bit deeper. And if that is the case, then it doesn't matter if it's career strategy or if you're just refreshing your LinkedIn and you still want to be able to go step by step and build a personal brand. That's exactly what I help midlife professionals do. And it doesn't matter, again, I say this again, it doesn't matter if you're looking for a job or if you're trying to up level in your current space, or maybe you are an entrepreneur and you're trying to attract your ideal clients. You got to make sure that you level up with building and nurturing your personal brand. So I want you to click the links that are in the description and you can see the different ways to work with me, whether it is going to be one-on-one coaching or maybe courses where you kind of do it yourself and I guide you through that. All of this is here for the reason of helping you level up in this season. I've got a lot of free resources as well. They are all linked below in the description. But overall, if any of this gave you an aha moment, definitely tell me in the comments. And I want to know which of these strategies you are going to be applying right away. And if any of it feels really good, that you learned something here, I would love it if you would subscribe to the channel. I would really love it if you shared with a friend, and then we can get more people joining in on this conversation. But ultimately, I'm always here for all of your midlife career growth strategies. Reach out and let me know how things are working, or maybe I missed a few tips. Otherwise, hey, just hang out and keep sharing the love because we are all in this together, baby. We want to make sure that this is the season that you show up as your best self. All right. Thanks for watching, and I am waiting to hear from you.